Good morning. Today's Wednesday morning. Thank you to Chase and Carol for coming today. We're going to talk about strength today. And I'm going to do our beginning, and then Mother is going to have discussion with you about strength. So first we'll ask for Mother and Father to come into the depth of our hearts and bring its light and illumine. And we'll reach out to all the phylums of the angels and all the ascended masters to come and surround all of us. And we ask all those beautiful souls that we can see as their light shine, whom are on their path and committed to walking in the light, that they're welcome to come and join us and to listen and to participate in the gift of enlarging the experience of God's light upon the world. All right, so let's do our mantra. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. And let's take a breath. All right, so let's contemplate the word strength. Yes, I did pull a life card, and I will read to you what it says. Today I maintain control of my emotions. I rise above self-doubt. I affirm my own power and stand strong in my unshakable faith. Today I know that I have the strength to overcome anything I encounter. I find my courage in the truth, holding tight to the force of love. I triumph over fear. Very powerful. So, as I was contemplating who to bring through to speak today, that which is a great percentage of myself spoke, especially when it's about fear. So, good morning to other people now. Let me take 1 minute. Anik, good morning. Kathy Marino, thank you for coming, all of you. And Dorothy Snyder, good to see you again. I hope you enjoy our conversation today. So, I'll take a breath. And strength is the greatest gift that we all have. Not to bring any lesser understanding to love and compassion. But if we think of Hercules and his capacity to lift and to save people with his strength, and yet many times they don't even begin to contemplate the strength of his heart. And I know many times TheoSophia calls upon me and I come in to help the heart have a greater strength as Hercules. That he is a great reminder of that which all of us have, and perhaps it's the first thing we tend to forget. Let's think of muscle tone, who, that's here with us today, can have a statement of saying, my muscles are so strong. TheoSophia would have told you when she was younger, no one could be stronger. That's not true today. And maybe it's not true for you either. When the muscles are not being fed, mostly a lot of it's about water and a balance. The legs, due to gravity, begin to not allow the water to up through the gates that are placed there within the veins. And not only is there loss of muscle, but there's a loss of strength. And perhaps walking long, or how you think it is affecting your heart, Your lungs is more so the strength that's really desired to have in your legs. Even your arms, if you get used to not doing things. So people share this with you about getting out and walking, but it's more than this. It's about getting out and becoming healthy. Are you drinking enough water? Are you taking minerals and vitamins that you need to take? For the body needs to be in strength. And strengthen your faith. My goodness, what does that mean today in our world? Different people all have and are beginning to have fears about what they believe. That it's not safe to have a strong faith and to believe in that which we've appeared to be in within our heart all these years. So let's believe in strength and strengthen our belief. The belief, the faith, and the love, they're all in union. You want to let it be a rod that cannot break. When it comes to the empowerment of the divine power that you have in your blue flame of your threefold flame, what is that truly doing for you? The divine power is an illumination of all ways to hold the power of light. It's to hold it in your faith, in your physical structure, in your new body that you're becoming in light. Because you can create light, but it needs the strength to shine, the strength to radiate out so that other people can see the model that you're being. So, in many ways, just so many ways, all these major words come together just when you go to contemplate your being. And then there's prayer. I know many people who I've heard think prayer is from a long time ago when everybody went to a church. And I've forgotten that even the small place within your own home, within your own room, of where you may pray and sit with God or Mother or Jesus every day, is creating that energy that's held within a church. For it is your church, just like we discovered and went on the journey of your sacred place inside your heart. There is no separation. When you begin to understand the depth of what all these words are and what they all suggest, they're suggesting to remember the light, to simply remember the light. Yes. Yes, Chase, thank you. That's why I came today. Today is International Women's Day. How much more international could anyone be? All the mothers are out today expressing, wanting everyone to know the power of the strength of what lies within you. Your heartbeat, love, yes, they're all dependent on how you choose to let them express themselves. We listened to the call from Mother TheoSophia's daughter this morning, thanking her for a few thoughts from yesterday. So how would it feel within your heart to thank yourself for all that you've been, for all that you are, and where yet you're moving toward, not only just within your own form, but in the union of light beings, all whom are in the encompassment of God's experience. The beautiful thing is we all learn from each other. No matter who we are and where we sit, there is a learning process that is beyond any other I have ever met. And it can have a choice of being loving. And those times when it is not loving, when it is fearful or emotional or traumatic, are also helpful because they let you understand it. Sit within your heart and let God help you find a way to bring it into love. Let it find the way to heal with love. Eons ago, when Father and I became together, it was the magic of the love that created all the beings of light. That may be hard for you to process, but so it is true. It is through the magic of love that all of beings were created. The angels had already been created, and they were those who took care of everybody. Those who took care of everybody. And there were so many different brilliant colors of beings that were formed. I will choose to call them the rainbow angels. They were beautiful. And yet, Father and I would feel the necessity to keep moving at different areas around the universe to bring more life into this world, where at one point it was only him. So we would have the angels watch over you. And soon, humanity began by, well, I want some of that color. It's beautiful. And another one would say, well, I want some of your color. And they could begin to see that each color had a gift and did something unique to another person. So the strength and the power within the soul began to emerge. So, how the word rainbow? Because humans did what they always do. They took a little smidgen of everybody, right? In today's world, you would call that jealousy. In that world, it was wanting to be the same as everybody else. And today, does everybody want to be the same? No, not at all. So maybe on some level, that's what we have to get back to. If you look at those who live in a higher dimensional experience, they're all group consciousness. They're not individuals like those here upon earth. That's fine. You're all in your perfection wherever you are. But quite the story of remembrance of all of you when we came back, and there were so many that were such a beautiful rainbow. And yet to this day, only very few realize the power of the rainbow. Do you understand? In creating the rainbow, throughout the being, you created your various colors of chakras. For some people, one chakra is stronger than another. And maybe you'll meet that person that has every chakra brilliant. But let's take it even into a more defined experience of the cellular structure and the rainbow. Some cells have a bit of every part. And so how does injury and illness come? Truly from the diseased thought. But the diseased thought is black. And as it moves through the aura, the longer it's not attended to, the darker and the bulkier it gets. So, a lot to be learned about the simplicity of that which God really is. And here where you sit, all of you, and you wonder, how do I become? How do I let go? How do I become the strength of the light? And it's in believing the simplicities. In my heart, there is no doubt that you are all at one. At the same time, my heart knows that there's been a separation. As humanity began, anger, jealousy, desire, all the natural quotients of living occurred. So now it is time to embrace that and to understand it is what it is. And so your process is as Jesus would say, see the light in all beings. Think about that statement for a moment. The light is that which is beyond distortion. And yet, the crystal clear light holds all the rainbow colors, doesn't it? It's all perhaps confusing, and yet also clear when you finally arrive there. And your heart is at peace, and you walk each day seeing the light in everyone, and knowing that that's a mirror for you in the essence of your I am presence. So today, on this International Day for Women, what are we mirroring to each other? Even those of us who are very high in consciousness, what is the mirror? Can you imagine? And I hope it is to be at one. That yes, this too is you. That yes, we have always been. And the illusional thought, the separated thought, is that we are not. Very fascinating. And the simplicity which that can move within a soul becomes easier and easier as you move. So resistance and hesitation, many words, are still found in a different way. The ego has convinced you that you're still not that empowered soul. But you see, you must learn power in the word. It isn't about being powerful and controlling and having more. That's not what power is. Power and the control of the self in a loving way, meaning that you are all you can be, and in the alignment of your vessel with God, there's nothing more to ask for. Feel that energy for a moment. I want to project that to you, that within your own soul of the vessel, and bringing in the Mother, Father, God, there is not one thing that you need. There are a multiple crystals of what you own and what you have today. They see many more crystals than there once were. Why? Because more are developing, more parts of the human consciousness as it's growing in its ability to use the mind and to see and diffuse and unravel illusion is amazing. And I must say, belief in itself is growing. I'm sure today much will be said, and yet everyone who's speaking is from a different space and time, and lives are different, just as those of us we are here today. And I must ask you, are we different? Or have we all not come from the same beginning somewhere? And we have chosen to embark physically, emotionally, and spiritually to learn more, to fill the empty spaces, and to find our way to the fullness and the wholeness of God's light, to be a vessel for Him. Is it not all the same? So as we think about your feet, walk gently. Know you can step within the footprints that are left for you. Or perhaps you can have God carry you. It doesn't matter. He is more than willing to do any of these things for you. And perhaps you can have your brother Jesus walk with you. He has learned through the years to be of great counsel. He learned so much as a young child, as many that you know have also. But it is not a time of jealousy or wonderment. It is understanding that they're a mirror of the truth of who you are. That beautiful soft love, that openness, that grand experience of joy and happiness. It is truly yours. You're just swimming in some of the separateness still. And as you wipe yourself through it and embrace it with the love that's true, you will find your way. You will find your way into illumined light and freedom. Saint Germain is an old friend, and I can still, in my mind, hear him sing, freedom, freedom, freedom. What more is there to ask for? But we do understand where he comes from, for humankind is known to be that which creates itself in a dire state. And if you could only understand that you also could create yourself into a great state of peace, how would the world be different? We don't need the world to demonstrate our illusion. Let's have our hearts ask to let the world demonstrate the peace within us, the truth, so that which we truly believe. I do not think that's that hard, but perhaps I've been around too long now. But I can have hope. Hope is something you can never let go of. Just as my coming here today. Perhaps there are many who would love to hear the words of Mother. And there's those who are afraid to hear the words of Mother. And there's others who understand that each word I speak speaks love. And that's going and wrapping and offering it to your heart and to your limbs and to your physical body. Perhaps giving it a spark or two wherever it might need it. Yes, perhaps. Why not? For it is a special day. And I appreciate you all coming to hear and to listen. I want to contemplate for a moment to see if there's something that I'm missing in our conversation. If you have a question, you can ask me. Lady Nada has come forward to speak to me. She is the leader of the Karmic Board. And she wants me to mention Lady Tara and how she helps with suffering. She herself, Nada, calls in Lady Tara to help many who stand before her who are suffering beyond where they cannot see the light. So if you know of someone, you can always bring the essence of Lady Tara to their presence and ask for her to help. It isn't always we can call them on ourselves, but we can reach up to the I Am Presence. And Kuan Yin comes to pour her beautiful vase of healing water from the top of your head all over your body. Rejuvenation, youth, vitality, and may you all welcome it. It is not your enemy, it is your salvation. And it comes from the deepest love. Food, there will come a time where food as you know it is not what you will intake within your body. It will be the food of the bees. That which is so challenged in your world is your savior. So contemplate what the future in a few years may be. And if you are one who has the capacity to help the life of bees to move forward, please do so. There will be more spoken about this as time comes. But I want you to give up the attachment to what food is, and to know there shall always be a resolution offered to all of you, for you are our children. We didn't have you come here to just disintegrate. It's not possible. So here again we speak of hope. Hope. Always know that you are so loved that at this moment you are not capable of feeling the depth of that love. But it will grow every step you walk where you are healing the love within you, within the world, within the mother, father within you. Is growing so you can begin to touch and savor the blessing of love. Yes, you learned about love when you were small. You all learned it differently. And as you went to school, you still all learned something differently. We're not talking about the brain energy. That too does come online. But we're talking about how you learned respect and honoring, how to treat people, and how to know how you deserve to be treated. And with respect. And to understand that no matter if there's someone there with a sword on your shoulder knighting you, that you still are a sacred being. Every soul that walks upon this earth and other planets in the universe are all sacred beings when they reach the place of such a divine love that it radiates and changes lives as people come into the essence of who they are. Contemplate that for a moment. Contemplate it. So, I do welcome those who've come. And if you have a question, certainly just ask me. You are all welcome to the cabin that I have at the base of the root. There's always a plenty of food, love, warmth, anything that the being of who you are may need, and peace. Oh, but if we could only live in the peace that is truth, yes. Yes, Jesus does live in that peace. Yes, there are many who do, but there are too many who resist it, who've actually told themselves how to resist peace. It is a crazy world. There's no doubt about it. But we shall not give up on this world, for that would be giving up on ourselves, and that's not a possibility. There is so much love. If you allow it to flow to you and through you, that can change anything. That can bring it into a movable experience of truth. The DNA is shifting. For those who do healing, realize healings become easier and more effortless. And the transformation is so notable. It's just so beautiful. And this will continue to deepen and to grow. Sound. Yes, sound is going to become the way healing is done on a higher level, because the new DNA is coming in on frequencies, not the solid form like what we have. And it's being shown to you on many of what movie theaters have and directors have taken on in their dreams at night. They're being shown what to prepare you for. Don't be frightened. I say it to you now from the depth of my heart. There's nothing to be frightened of. For in your connection with God and Mother, in your connection into the light will always be there for you. The ego is that which you must learn to live without. That which perhaps you've had parents who that's how they've survived, by allowing the ego to get them where they need to be. But you can be unique and begin to understand that it isn't the ego that's your survivor, that it's Mother and Father, and most importantly, that light that is never ending, that is such a brilliance. There can be existence in every cell of who you are. Yes. So, does anyone have a question? So for today, let's all be the beings that we are and resonate peace. I say that not just for Ukraine, but for the world and for each individual that in this moment has their feet planted upon this earth. And for those in the universe as we're getting ready to unite, to meet each other, so as you say, because they've been coming under the skies of darkness. It'll be interesting. Don't be afraid. It's just a different brother of yours or a sister. Listen first and try not to let your ego take away the power that you've worked so hard to attain. Let there need not be a struggle. For you've done enough struggling within yourself, have you not? So, quite a courageous day for women to come together and to stand together in hopes that other women will stand with them. And what that does is create a great strength around not only the orbit of the earth, but the universe. Yes, I get lost in the vision of it when I speak it. So, well, no questions. I guess I was very clear, or you all already knew, and that's wonderful. So, thank you for coming. I can hear laughter outside. How often do you laugh? Just to feel at peace, or something that perhaps at one time that was a worry that can now bring you joy. Let's all pray for laughter, a heightened joy in the life of every soul. So peace and laughter, and certainly love. So I give you my blessings today. And for each of you, that'll all come in a different way from whoever and however you define yourself. Yes, very nice, Dorothy. And thank you, Chase. Well, this has been quite the different seat for me. And I thank you for letting me sit here with you all. And remember, love, not fear. Any blessings. Okay. All right, let's see here, Kathy. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. I'm trying to understand the various masters and the different types. So, there are a lot of masters and the ascended beings. There is the Elohim. The Elohim, there are 7 of them. And from that beginning of time when Mother and Father existed, Father first went to Hercules, that's Ray 1, and asked if he would like to be first and in charge of the development of a universe. And so the statement of the blue ray is the will to do. So he had to first agree to have the willingness to do it. Then he confronted Cassiopeia, who is of the second ray. The second ray took the thought and illuminated it, yellow. Had it be bright and that there was nothing that was going to stop it from happening. The third ray is Orion. Oh, nope. Yes, it is Orion, but it's pink. It was my inner brain. It's pink, and it's the love. If there's nothing that I hope you learned today, it's how Mother spoke about love. There first must be love. So Hercules agreed, Cassiopeia illumined, and now Orion brings the love to the earth. Yep, that place where there's the 3 stars in the sky of his belt. You always know where Orion is. And that's often what the pyramids are pointed at, is Orion. No, it's bringing the love in. Fourth ray is Claire, and it's for it to be in purity. So that whatever continued thought is made about the universe would be made in pure thought, pure language, pure existence. And then we go on to the 5th ray, who Hilarion has come and spoken. That is the healing ray. And Hilarion will look at anything that perhaps need to be healed about there being this universe and start the healing process. The 6th ray, while it is the 6th ray, if you're manifesting, will always be the final 7th ray because it is peace. Man, as I say that word, you can just feel it run right through you all the way to your toes. It is ruby gold. It is peace. And it is Christ that brings that peace. And the 7th ray is, of course, our Saint Germain. And why it is, if it's manifested, you do the violet flame first, and then the peace comes. Because Saint Germain brings the violet flame and the ceremony that's involved in that whole agreement to all that. And you need to understand that the Elohim all still work till this moment that you and I are speaking. And if they did not, we would not be here. So for eons of time, they agreed, and they have maintained that. So a lot of work, there's another whole line of work of discovering which rays you've lived on, which rays you haven't, and because it's a part of your growth to spend time to live on a various ray. So that's a whole, you can see, it becomes a whole part of the master work to learn. So then there are the angels, which I am going to put up a class somewhere in the next few months to teach you all the different phylums and all about them. So you yourself, there'll be a second class if you want to learn to work with them. So much to do, I know. Then the Ascended Masters are beings just like you and myself, who worked through lifetimes to become harmless, 51% harmless before you can be an ascended being, and through patterns. And it's not just a drop in the hat. It takes time. You know, I'm here after 34 years. Wasn't just, I'm going to decide to be this. No. I had many people see me before I knew me to tell me who I was. So, but it's all different and becoming different as the quickening of the earth is happening. So the Ascended Masters, there's many of them. There's Kuan Yin for compassion and mercy. And when she turned around and saw more karma coming at her after she thought she had healed it, that teardrop generated Lady Tara, who is now very good at healing suffering. There's just so many to become even individual with it. But if you're on that path, you will find ways to help you learn. And if there's enough of you that want to learn it, my husband Douglas, he is the master of all that, and the masters. So let me see if I answered all your questions. So it's all study. It's all learning about different things and generating that belief system inside you that you know. For us, our belief has, in one way, from Douglas's strength become in Saint Germain. And we put things on a platter and give it to him. But we also believe and trust and know things change. So it's a development of your consciousness in the process of your growth. So I hope that answers some of your questions. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Grateful. Thank you for all your thankfulness. Anything else? Or did that spawn any other questions? You know, there was a time in my life that people kind of thought I was a little crazy. But that's only because they didn't understand. That they didn't know to look and to see the light. But went through it. Maybe now again people are saying the same thing. It doesn't matter. Because the number one most important thing is begin to understand the definition that you are in light, full of light, and in alignment with Mother and Father. I can see my light flashing as I'm talking. Mother still radiating. So let me see. Kathy, thank you so much. I realize it will take time and patience on my part. I would love to take an angel class with you. Very good. It's in the plans. So I appreciate that. All right. Well, I'll let you know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. I had told everyone it was today, but we'll see what the universe chooses to do. Because the biggest thing to understand is you're going on this journey with God. And if you have God with you, it makes a difference. All right, so I hope you all have a wonderful day here on International Women's Day. And if you need to be that respect for yourself, then do so. Buy yourself a rose. Give yourself 10 minutes to just sit and be quiet and feel the love inside of yourself and let it grow. You are all more powerful than you think. But in our world, we tend not to give that time to us, right? Sometimes it takes a whole weekend. I just have to be quiet and keep going in, taking this in, and then it gets unraveled and it shows itself to me. Yes. What was the word today? It was strength. And you can see her eyes are closed and she's contemplating it. Yeah. Simple. So it sounds. But I understand. Not so easy when you're busy and you're in this life. But life can get away from you. And when you're in harmony and in peace, there's much less stress, more harmony, and happiness. Well, thank you all for coming. Many blessings. And for sure, I'll see you next Monday for a new Eye of Horus healing session series, which I think you're all going to just love. And hopefully you enjoyed today. Many blessings.